Class 10 Biology, Chapter 2 Control and Coordination, Video number 2. Students, in my previous video, I had discussed about the structure of neurons and how nerve impulses are generated and transmitted. In this video, I will be discussing about the types of nervous actions. Then in detail we will be learning about reflex action, under which I will be discussing about the need for reflex action, reflex arc, the importance of reflex action and the differences between reflex action and voluntary actions like walking. As you all know that all living organisms respond to the changes that occur in their surrounding, and the responses that they show are in the form of movements. So now let us study about the different types of movements that are shown by organisms. So movements or nervous actions, they can be either voluntary or involuntary. So let us see the voluntary movements. The voluntary movements are the movements that are performed by consulting the will. So those movements which are done by consulting the will or by where thinking is involved, such movements are called as the voluntary movements. These movements are performed under conscious directions of the brain, and they are the voluntary movements. Examples of voluntary movements are, one example is shown over here, that is walking. There are other examples also. Running is an example, picking a pen to write something, or writing is an example of voluntary movement. When you are there in the class, you raise your hand for answering. These are all examples of voluntary movements because they are done under the will. They are performed by consulting the will or by they are done under the control of the brain. The conscious part of the brain is involved here, thinking is involved, right? There are some movements which are performed, they are performed without consulting the will, and such movements that are performed without consulting will, where thinking part of the brain or consciousness is not involved, these movements, they are called as involuntary movements. Now the involuntary movements can either be slower movements or the faster movements, right? So let us first see what are these slower movements. When is the where such slow movements, involuntary movements are performed. So those there are these involuntary movements which is performed to control and coordinate the functioning of internal organs. They are involuntary and they are slower. Okay, they are slower movements. Though I am repeating again, those involuntary movements that are performed to control and coordinate the functioning of internal organs, they are slow involuntary movements, and these are done under the control, or these are performed by the smooth muscles or the involuntary muscles. There it is because of the contraction and relaxation of the smooth or the involuntary muscles, whereas the voluntary muscles which I have discussed, the voluntary muscles are performed because of the action of striated muscles or the voluntary muscles. So example of involuntary muscles are the examples of involuntary actions or involuntary movements are the beating of heart. The heartbeat is an example. Then you have got peristalsis. Try to recall, you had learned about the rhythmic contraction and relaxation, or the wave of contraction and relaxation that occurs all along the alimentary canal, which pushes the foot down. Those movements, they are called as peristaltic movement or peristalsis. So peristalsis is also an example of a slow involuntary movements, right? There are also some movements which are sudden. They are sudden, these movements, they are sudden, they are automatic and involuntary. So such sudden, automatic, involuntary movements that are performed on receiving a stimulus are called as reflex action. They are called as a reflex action. The reflex actions are sudden, automatic, involuntary actions that are shown in response to a stimulus, right? And the examples of these reflex actions are, you have got one example is shown over here, that is knee jerk, where if suppose someone, if you're sitting with your legs hanging freely, if someone strikes just below the knee, then what you find is the leg is going to move automatically upwards. So this is an example of this is an example of reflex action. Knee jerk is an example of reflex action. There are other examples also, like a sudden withdrawal of hand when you touch a hot plate, that is another example of reflex action. Or you have got examples like sudden closure of eyes when light is flashed. So here in all these examples which I have told you, the actions are instant and they are spontaneous. Those actions, they are instant, they are spontaneous, these are sudden, involuntary, automatic actions, and they are all called as reflex action. So nervous actions or the nervous movements, they can be either voluntary movements or they may be either voluntary movements or involuntary. The involuntary movements can either be slower movements which are performed to regulate the functioning of internal organs, or if the movement is involuntary, automatic and spontaneous, such movements are called as reflex actions. Now, let us see the difference between voluntary and involuntary movements. So here this table shows the difference between the two. The first difference, just have a look at it, is that voluntary actions are controlled by the will. They are under control of the will, whereas involuntary movements are performed without consulting the will. Next difference you find is that the voluntary actions or voluntary movements are the actions that are performed with the help of striated muscles. The striated muscles are also called as voluntary muscles because they are under the control of will, and they are also called as skeletal muscles, right? Whereas involuntary actions, okay, that are shown by the internal organs, these actions are performed with the help of smooth muscles. Then the other difference that you find is that the voluntary movements, they are related with the functioning of external organs, whereas involuntary actions or movements are connected or related with the functioning of internal organs. And this, when I am saying these involuntary movements, they are slower movements, where they are quite slow movements, whereas voluntary actions, they are faster than the involuntary actions, right? And example of a voluntary action will be raising of hand for asking question, walking, running. These are all examples of voluntary actions. And the example of involuntary actions is heartbeat, you've got peristalsis. So these, let us now learn about reflex action in detail. A reflex action is a sudden, automatic, involuntary response to a stimulus acting on a specific receptor without consulting the will. Some of the examples of reflex actions are shown over here. Here, one example is a sudden withdrawal of hand on touching a hot plate. This, many of you might have experienced this many a times. Suppose you have come from school to home and there is something lying on the table in a vessel, food is lying in the vessel on a table. You go there, you open the lid, and the moment you open the lid, if the lid is hot, you don't think, you just drop it suddenly. Or if suppose you are working or you are ironing clothes, and if suppose your hand touches the hot plate of the iron, then what do? You don't think over there, rather you suddenly remove your hand. Or if suppose someone flashes light on your eyes, then you don't think of that the lights are being flashed and so it may harm you and so you should close. You suddenly close your eyes, right? Or an example just now I had told you in the previous slide, knee jerk. If someone hits, like suppose you are sitting with your legs hanging freely and someone hits you just below the knee, what do you find? The legs will move automatically upwards. So in all these actions what you find is the actions are done very quickly. they are sudden actions, they are spontaneous, and in none of these actions will or thinking is involved. So before we know more about that how these actions are done, let us first know that why is reflex action important. Now, the same examples that I had taken, like the knee jerk or removal of hand when hot plate is touched, what would happen if suppose thinking is involved? Now, thinking is performed by the complex network of neurons which is located in the coordinating centers of central nervous system. Your central nervous system comprises of brain. Brain is the main coordinating center, and in the brain it is actually the front part of the brain. It is actually the front part of the brain where this coordinating center for thinking is involved. So, in the same actions, that examples that I have told you, what would happen like where thinking is involved, right? If suppose you touch a hot iron plate, then the message, definitely you have learned in the previous video that the message of first, when you touch it, the receptors will first receive the stimulus. The stimulus is then taken by the sensory neurons to your central nervous system. If you are touching the plate with your hand, the stimulus will be taken by the sensory neuron to your spinal cord, and then it will be taken to the brain. Okay, it will be taken to the coordinating center which is located in the front of the brain. Then in the coordinating center, which is made up of complex network of neurons, there the message will be analyzed. The message that has been brought will be analyzed. Okay, and based on the information that is brought and the experiences that are stored, already stored in the brain, that is based on the previous experiences and based upon the information that has been brought from other sense organs, the brain in the coordinating centers, a decision will be taken, and that will be the response, that will be a decision of what kind of response is to be done will be taken, and this decision now will be sent to the motor neuron, and it will be taken through the like it will be first handed over to the motor neuron, and then the motor neurons, they will then take this information to the region of action. That will be like if it is your hands to be withdrawn, then the message will be taken by the motor neurons to the muscles of your hand so that you can withdraw it, right? Now this entire process of like taking the message to the coordinating center, then the analysis being done, and then the message being passed by the motor neuron to the effector organ, here in this case will be the muscle of your hand. This entire process is going to take some time, and in case if suppose the stimulus that you have received, that in this example the stimulus that is received is quite harmful, right? It is heat, or if suppose someone is working on electrical wiring or a circuit and someone gets a shock, right? So these stimulus, they are very harmful. So in case the stimulus is quite dangerous, then this delay that happens, the delay that happens during the thinking process, that is during analysis and processing, would be quite harmful to the individual, and in severe cases it may cause even the death, right? So to avoid such situation, in order to protect the individual or the individual from such a harmful stimuli, the individual will be acting through reflex action, right, where this thinking part is not at all involved. Directly the message first, here also you will find that the message will be first picked up by the receptors, they will be taken by the sensory neuron to the central nervous system, but not to the thinking region. Okay, and in the central nervous system there are some special neurons which I had told you about, the relay neurons. So what they do is they pick up the message from the sensory neuron, and without any processing the message is handed over to the motor neuron, which immediately takes the message to the effector organ so that the response can be generated. So here thinking is not at all involved. Okay, though this information, the sensory information, that is the heat, or if it is shock, or whatever it is, like any other example, light, this message, though it is taken to the brain also. Okay, and but then by the time the brain analyzes, due to this reflex arc, the response is shown. So in this way, the reflex actions, they help in protecting the individual. The reflex actions help in protecting the individual from harmful stimuli. And studies have shown that reflex actions have evolved quite early in the physiology of animals. Okay, the lower animals, like you have learned in class 9 about the entire diversity that you have in the animal kingdom. So in the lower animals, you don't find, they don't have any thinking or such coordinating centers. So all the actions, like even if it's an insect or like a housefly or any other mosquito, it's not that they think and do the work. In them, entire of the actions is done reflexly. So reflex actions have evolved quite early in the physiology of animals, but still it is existing. Why is it existing? Despite of the fact that the thinking process have now evolved. The higher animals like us have thinking process, have the coordinating centers for thinking, but still it is persisting because they are more efficient. The reflex action are more efficient in producing quick response, which is required in case the stimuli is a harmful stimuli. The pathway that is taken up by the nerve impulse in reflex action is called as reflex arc. So the diagram that you see here, this diagram shows the reflex arc in case of when there is a sudden withdrawal of hand when you touch a hot plate or something very hot, right? So here the lines, the red lines that you see, this is the reflex arc. So first let us see what are the different components of a reflex arc. In any reflex arc, you will find there will be a receptor, there is sensory neuron required, a part of central nervous system will be required. This involvement of relay neuron which is present in the central nervous system, this motor neuron and effector organ. So let's see what are these, right? Stimulus, as you all know, a stimulus is any change in the environment that makes an organism to react or respond. Then stimulus, as in the previous video it was told to you that they are received by special cells, that specialized tips of certain cells that are located in your sense organs. They are the ones which receive the stimulus and they are called as the receptors, right? Now receptors, they receive the stimulus and then generate impulse, the electric impulse or the nerve impulse, which is then passed to the sensory neuron. A sensory neuron is a neuron which will be picking the information from a receptor and then it will be passing it to the central nervous system, right, to a part of the central nervous system. In this case will be the spinal cord, right. Then a relay neuron is also involved. It is present in the central nervous system. A relay neuron is a neuron which will be picking the information from sensory neuron and immediately handing it over without any processing, because here processing will not be involved. So the message is picked by the relay neuron and immediately it is handed over to the motor neuron, right. So now the motor neurons, they are the ones which will be carrying the information from the relay neurons to the effector organ. So the motor neurons, they will be like this, relay neurons will pick information from sensory neuron and they will be passing it to the motor neuron, and motor neurons are the neurons which carry this information from the central nervous system to the effector organ. The effector organ can be a muscle or a gland which has to show the response. So these are the different components of a reflex arc. There is a receptor, there is sensory neuron involved, there is interneurons present. Okay, those interneurons, they are present. Interneurons are the relay neurons. Then you got the motor neurons which will be taking the message to the effector organ, and the effector organ is the one which shows the appropriate response. So let's see the diagram. The diagram over here shows the reflex arc, and see what happens in this. You find that when you touch a hot plate, the heat is the, here in this case, heat is the stimulus, right? It is the stimulus, right? And the stimulus is received by the receptors which are present in your skin. There are thermoreceptors present. I told you yesterday there are different types of receptors present in different sense organs. So in this example, the thermoreceptors which are present, they will be the ones which will pick the information of heat, and then they will generate the an electric current. So this electric current from these receptors will be then picked up by the sensory neuron. The sensory neuron will now pick this information from the receptor, and then these sensory neuron then take this information. The sensory neuron then takes this information to the central nervous system. Just now I had told you that the central nervous system includes the spinal cord and the brain. Brain is the main coordinating center. Like brain, it is the main coordinating center which is present in your skull, and there is a long tube which is connected to the brain, that's called as a spinal cord, right? The thinking process is located in the brain, right? So first the message will be taken to the spinal cord, and this what you see over here is a cross section of the spinal cord. This is a cross section. This is the cross section of the spinal cord. So what happens is that the sensory neuron takes this message to the spinal cord, and spinal cord, definitely it's going to send message to the brain, but then since the stimuli that is received is a harmful stimuli, in the spinal cord there are special neurons present which are called as the relay neurons. So these relay neurons, what they do is they will be picking up the message. The message will be picked from the sensory neuron by the relay neurons, and immediately without any processing the message is sent to the motor neuron. Okay. Now these motor neurons then immediately take this message to the effector organ, which in this example is a muscle of the arm. So the moment the message is taken to the effector organ, we have discussed where how chemicals work and they are released by the axon terminals, right? So that part is already discussed. So here once the motor neuron takes the message to the effector organ, the effector organ, which is the muscle, now will contract, and because of the contraction you remove your hand. So in this example that you see here, you find that because of the presence of the relay neurons, you don't find that any processing is occurring, and the transmission of the impulse from the receptor to the effector is quite quick because processing is not involved, and so there is a sudden withdrawal of hand. Remember one thing, that the sensory information, that is the information of heat, apart from being sent by the relay neurons immediately to the motor neuron, this information is also taken to the brain. The message is definitely taken to the brain, and the brain also analyzes the same. But before the brain comes up with a decision, the action is already done because of the reflex arc. Okay, so this is how the reflex arcs, they help in showing a quick response. Okay, you touch the heat, right? When you touch anything hot, the receptors receive it, then the receptors will pass it to the sensory neurons. The sensory neuron then takes this message to the spinal cord, and the spinal cord, in the spinal cord, the relay neurons which are present, they will be taking the information from the sensory neuron and handing it over. Just have a look at the diagram over here. You see here that the axon terminal of the sensory neuron forms a synapse with the dendrite tip of the interneuron or the relay neuron, and the axon terminal of the relay neuron is forming a synapse with the dendrite tip of the motor neuron. So message is quickly taken and handed over to the motor neuron, and motor neuron then finally gets this message to the muscle of your arm or the hand, and this causes the hand to be withdrawn quite quickly because here processing is not happening, right. So this is how the reflex actions or the reflex arc work, right. And this example that is shown, this is an example of spinal reflexes. Reflex actions, there are of two types. If suppose the spinal cord is a center for reflex action, that is called as spinal reflex. But there are also some examples where the brain can also be the center for reflex action. Like example, like a sudden closure of eyes when bright light is flashed. So this example here, in this example you find it is not the spinal cord, but it is the brain, and it is actually in this case it is the midbrain. Brain has got three parts, in detail you will be learning later, but in this case of sudden closure of eyes, it is the midbrain part of the brain which is the center for reflex action. So there are some reflexes, most of the reflexes you will find will be the spinal cord as a center, but there are some reflexes like those which are related with this light and sound stimuli. There you find that the center for reflex action is actually the midbrain, and here also in the midbrain there is no processing occurring because again the relay neurons, they will be doing the work of picking the message from the sensory neuron and passing it to the motor neuron. So since processing or analysis is not being done in such actions, you find that the actions are performed very quickly. Okay, so that's about the functioning of reflex arc and how those quick responses are shown. Now coming to the importance of reflex action. Now reflex action checks overloading of brain, right? Many a times, because brain is the highest coordinating center and lots of activities are performed by the brain. So because of this, in case of reflex action, there is no processing occurring. That means that the brain, the thinking part of the brain is not at all involved, and so it checks overloading or overtaxing of brain. The other thing is that reflex actions have survival value. In case the stimuli is a harmful stimuli, the action is done very immediately, and so the person is saved, right. So reflex action has a survival value. And the third thing is that there is an immediate response to otherwise harmful stimuli without brain having analyzed the same. So without analysis, a quick response is shown towards a harmful stimuli. So these are the importance of reflex action. Now let us know about the difference. Let's see what are the differences between reflex action and a voluntary action, say walking. Okay. Now as already stated, reflex actions, they are sudden, involuntary, automatic action which are performed without consulting the will, whereas walking is a voluntary action because it is done by consulting, it is under control of the will or the thinking part of the brain, whereas reflex action, they are automatic and it is not, it cannot be controlled by the thinking part of the brain. Other difference that you find is that reflex action is inborn, that is, it is present in an individual right from the birth, but walking is learned, it is acquired through learning. Then the reflex action, in case of reflex action, the intensity of the action cannot be changed. The action will be shown with the same speed provided the same stimulus is received. But in case of walking, the intensity of walking can be changed. Sometimes you walk slow, sometimes you walk fast, but this does not happen in case of reflex action. Next, the reflex actions have survival or protective value. Okay, as I already said, if suppose a stimuli is a harmful stimuli, then there, because of the quick response shown, the person is protected. So it has a survival value. But in case of walking, Walking is done to perform various activities. Now let us know about the role of brain in reflex action. As just now said you, that reflex action, the purpose of reflex action is to provide a quick response. Okay, in any of the situations, if the stimuli is quite harmful, then the organism may not have enough time for thinking. If suppose thinking is involved, then that may cause harm. So there the individual has to respond very quickly, and so they respond through reflex action, right? And in such cases you find that the spinal cord is the center. As example that was shown to you in the previous slide, the center of reflex arc was spinal cord, right? But then remember one thing, that though the center is spinal cord, the information of it is sent to the brain. The information inputs, that is the information of stimulus, also reaches the brain in those cases also. But before the brain takes a decision, the action is shown, because apart from the fact that the message is sent to the brain, the relay neurons, they will pick the message from sensory neuron and pass it to the motor neuron, and so a quick response is also shown. So the message is sent to the brain so that the brain can record the event and remember it for future use. Other role of brain is that the midbrain, I told you that there are some reflexes which are where you find that the brain is the center, but not the thinking part of the brain. There the center is the midbrain. Okay, so midbrain is the center for audio visual reflex action. Visual reflex action like sudden closing of the eyes when light is flashed, that is a visual reflex action, or a sudden movement of head if you hear a loud sound, right? So these are all examples, these are all audio visual reflex action, and there the center for reflex action is midbrain, not the spinal cord, it is the midbrain. Okay, but not the thinking. Here again thinking is not involved. In these audio visual reflex action, what happens is that, like suppose there is sudden closure of eyes, so light will be first, the light, that is a stimulus, will be picked up by the receptors present in the eyes. Then the receptor will pass this message to the midbrain through the sensory neuron. Now the relay neurons which are present in the midbrain will pick the information from the sensory neuron and pass it to the motor neuron, and then the motor neuron gets the message to the muscles of the eyelid, and so you close the eye. Okay, and this particular information is also sent to the thinking part. But then as I said you, there the message is analyzed, but then before decision is taken, the action is already performed, and there the brain will record this event and remember it for future use. So the basis of the video that you have watched, here are some questions that you have to answer in your assignment copies. The first question is, what is reflex action? Explain it with the help of an example. What are reflex arc? There is a sudden withdrawal of hand if you touch a hot iron plate. Describe the arc with the help of a well labeled diagram. Next question, why do animals respond through reflex action in certain situations? Next, differentiate between reflex action and voluntary action. And lastly, what is the role of brain in reflex action?